Okay, today speaking practice. The topic on today is the, the writing habits that shape my plan and my future from Dancor. Okay, let's let's speaking. If you don't know what you learn, that start writing, even if you don't want to be a writer. Writing teaches you how to think, how to learn any skill fast, and how to attract an audience that support your work, which is absolutely needed if you want to build your own business or just do any kind of independent, creative, or meaningful work. In the area of AI, thinking, learning, and distribution, raising your value in front of other people so you actually have the chance of being paid a timeless skill. Writing allows you to practice them on while building digital library as a byproduct. I never thought I would be a writer. I don't even look up park. I'm a big dumb meathead who fell in love with a deep idea. But on measure, writing as a simple morning habit has completely changed the course of my mind and life. It has helped me articulate my thoughts, calm my mind, find opportunity outside of the traditional job market, and it's a single thing that fuels the success of my work and business. In this letter, I want to show you my system for capturing idea and writing content worth reading. But I also want to show you why this approach is more viable than ever and why it will transform how your brain interacts with reality. Yes, that's it. Let's begin. The first, old library vs new library, the secret to modern success. Okay, in here we had vs not defined. The biggest library is no longer capital. The biggest library is enterprise. The ability to run a business, and in particular, the biggest library is personal brand. Having a big audience, as soon as you got people paying attention to you, you have this enormous form of leverage. Okay, it's the quote from Daniel Pushikley. The rule of wealth creation have fundamentally changed. The assets that drove income into industry, property, factory, machinery, physical goods are being replaced by digital assets, audience, personal brand, IP, content, data, and software that are incredibly cheap to build, more scalable, harder to start, and compound while you're asleep. The only requirement to building library for yourself in today was a good idea and confidence to support it on the internet. The problem and the opportunity is that most people are still conditioned by industrial value. They somehow still believe that school, job, child is more certain, safe, and skilled when that could be any future from the church. The same holds true when it comes to building leverage and thus creating wealth for your future. All leverage comes from physical, tangible assets. Okay, a house, factory, garage, field of job, a warehouse of inventory gone. You buy them and let them appreciate or generate income. All leverage is linear and local. A factory can only produce so many units per day, and a house can only be rented to one tenant at a time. Don't get me wrong, leverage is leverage, and all leverage is still a great thing. However, physical assets are going to be the first thing that government fight, test, and seize if we collapse, which is more likely today than yesterday, because AI can quickly do that, leading to government expanding social safety nets. Government are much less likely to seize an email list of people who know who you are, a library of content, or a best-selling book. New leverage comes from intangible digital assets, an audience, personal brand, IP, data, system, software. They are the leverage of the newly reached media, data, and cost. Content can be written on and be seen to by millions of people. Software can be created on and service millions of users. For most of people, writing is the most acceptable and practical form of leverage. You can learn to code, but if you cannot attract people to care about the product you build, then nobody will using or pay for it. Writing is a leverage that unlocks the other form of leverage. Okay, so Denkerhop had a picture that in the center of the picture is the writing, and the other form of leverage is the caption, message, advertising, social posts, email, web page, video strip, and article. Search means writing is the leverage is the main skill. You will not see digital assets on balance sheets, but they represent 90% of the S&P 500 value. Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift, Ryan Reynolds, and Mitsubishi or Elon Musk all have massive audience and personal brand. But you probably don't want anywhere near that level of the frame, and that's a great thing because you don't need millions of followers to make the work. With 6 or 12 months of focused effort, you can find yourself in a wide different light than you are now. Personally, I get play in my income around 5,000 followers about 6 months in because I actually took it seriously. My friend Rennie and Finnish Scott were making 100k dollar a month at around 10,000 followers because he invested in education, studies, marketing, and sell, and implemented everything else. If his life is depending on it, the point is that people rest drastically overestimate how much they need chewing, because on they see ER told celebrated on their timeline. That's the why we teach you how to find what you want to talk about, create your personal monologue fly, and write high impact content in our bootcamp. You still have time to join next live call we are doing. Okay, that's the marketing of the his bootcamp. But the benefit of writing STEM far beyond that. So we go to the next session. How writing completely shape your brain and life. Okay. How do you know what I think until I see what I say? It's hard to explain, but the act of writing is much deeper than putting pen to paper. It shapes your mind to see the world in a more meaningful way. Conversation becomes a source of inspiration. Your thoughts become filled with the idea you're wrestling to understand. You notice more detail in life rather than living on the straightforward surface. In my age, there are four key benefits to writing. So the first, writing is a rewrite how you think. The core mechanics here is forced linearity, which is a fancy way of saying that you can feel like you understand something in your head, but writing forces you to collapse it into a single stream. Thinking without writing is like walking through a forest when you can't see every direction, while writing itself is like driving on a road through the disorienting mess. You have to decide where you are going, which turn you are going to take, whether or not you want to take the scenic route, and how to navigate back if you get lost. In other words, watching is the apparatus for thinking. Is the realm where your mind is built. You might think you understand the feeling, counter rumors, memories, and have formed analogy in your head, and even your value and belief. But at least you write them out, I can almost guarantee you don't. Second, watching and read pattern recognition. There are a few layers to this. The first is that writing regularly builds an internal record of your thinking. You are able to quickly reference what you have written in past as a way of articulating your current thoughts better. It helps you think with clarity. The second layer is similar to the photographer A. After a few years of serious practice, you start to see frame and composition in everyday life. The world doesn't look the same, it has another layer of depth. With writing, you start noticing structure in argument and metaphor in a mundane moment, or the narrative acts of your every day. Writing trains a specific kind of attention that bleeds into everything. The third layer is that you notice ideas you normally wouldn't have. When I have a newsletter planned for the next week, or just know that I need to write twist today, my mind will naturally have me notice the idea that have achieved through goal. It's the concept of partial cybernetic that your mind is slightly ahead seeking midnight toward its goal and will have you notice the tool you need to achieve them. The problem is that people don't actually have conscious goal they care about. They have unconscious goal assigned to them, and since the past is plenty for them, they don't have to do much aside from show up to school and work. So they are missing this layer of life. The third, writing help you articulate your thought. Most people walk around believing they understanding things they don't. Not because they are dumb, but because they have never been focused to external lateral.
Uống cà phê đâu mà tìm bữa nay uống cà phê nhiều nước luôn.
Writing is not only tool to improve communication, thus improving most other areas of your life, but a tool to explore whether or not you actually know what you are talking about. That's what most people are afraid of. They don't want to feel the joy that comes from doing something meaningful. They want to be easy. They want on the idea or just come their heads immediately. They see writing as something that everyone know how to do, so they don't appreciate that it's a skill just like anything else and take effort to improve, which leads into the most important point. Writing have the last but not least. Writing have you learn faster. The future belongs to those who can learn the fastest. And unfortunately, most people stop learning after they graduate high school, and it's so. You must learn in order to achieve a goal. So, if you want to achieve any goal outside of the three society planet in your head at birth, then you must self-educate. And if you want to enhance that process, you must write. Writing is both a form of teaching and understanding. Okay, in the learning science, there are potential effect, which so that students who stick material retain is better than students who mostly studies. The cognitive loss required to figure out how to explain something to somebody else, first deeper processing, better organization and identification of the gap of knowledge. I learned more in my first 6 months of writing online than ever did in school. I exaggerating, but what I mean is that I learned much more about the thing I care about. I could feel my mind turning sharp, and I got slowly to be being like the thinker that I admired as I was growing up. My younger self too, my brain were too dumb to speak intelligence. Till now, I just didn't practice. Last, watching depends that you understand. You read something, you feel like you get it, you try to write about it, and you realize you can. Most people think it's because they aren't qualified. to write about your topic with a bullshit, and you can write down an idea just like any other person on planet Earth. You can. You are on planet Earth can. You are just reaching invisible skipper our fear of putting your idea in front of other people. But now you know exactly where your understanding breaks. That's when you go back and learn, you research, then you can't just writing. Okay? The writing system you generate idea people can have pursuit. So that's the past Danker marketing and very strong. I will stop here. Okay.